First time ever the AFC Championship game will be played in Kansas City. Patriots at the Chiefs. Patriots there 8 straight years. But they have not won a road playoff game since they upended the Chargers, the 14-2 Chargers in 2006. Guys, I tell you what, this one I could go either way, and we could talk about this up until kickoff and never really figure out how it's going to go, because I'd say these teams are evenly matched. We saw a classic regular season game between them, and as soon as that game ended in Week 6, 43-40, we thought, hey, let's have the rematch. Let's play the rematch now in the postseason. And unlike last year when we didn't get the Steelers-Patriots rematch in the postseason, we're getting this one.
This is going to be a great game. The biggest thing I'm looking at for this game, Patrick Mahomes, even last week, I thought he missed some throws. I thought he wasn't as sharp as he had been in the regular season.
Yeah.
And there's been a few times where he's been in big games, even a game where he won, like the Monday night game where they went to Denver.
Right.
And he missed a few throws and he wasn't as sharp. This is his first time in this situation, this big of a stage. And I think the Chiefs, with how their defense has played all year, they need Patrick Mahomes to basically be perfect.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Mahomes is going to have to play certainly better than he did the first time around, okay? And, to Big Cat's point, a guy like me who watches film and all that, he does leave a number of throws on the field every week. That's what's amazing, because you go, wow, he threw for 400 yards, but he probably should have thrown for 500 or something like that. Last week, he did miss a few throws. I know the ones you're talking about, down the middle, ball came out of his hand funny. Tyreek Hill was open a few times there, but yes, he cannot repeat some of the mistakes we saw in that first matchup. Throwing interceptions early in the game, right, Mike? We saw that. Throwing interceptions in the red zone. If they do those type of things, they're going to lose this football game. There's no doubt about that, because you can't depend on Brady and Belichick turning it over and screwing up situational football.
And that game, Week 6, Sunday Night Football, that was his first really big moment.
It was.
And I think that it overwhelmed him in the first half. We saw him putting too much air under the football. And then in the second half, he completed that pass. He rolled to the right. We showed that yesterday, broke it down where he rolls to the right. He finds Kareem Hunt for the touchdown that changes the feel of the game. And you could see how excited he was after that, because now they're going to make it a game, and now he's settled down, and this stage isn't too big for him. And we've seen him play well on a big stage all throughout the year since that Patriots game. But what happens? He plays well, and the Chiefs lose. We saw it against the Rams in the 54-51 game. We saw it against the Chargers in that epic Thursday night game. We saw it against the Seahawks,
right.
Week 16, Sunday night. The only time he delivered on a big stage was last Saturday afternoon. And I think that's more of an indictment to the people around him. But at some point, whether you're Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, whoever, you are stuck with the teammates that you have. And you have to rise above that. Whatever the circumstance, you've got to find a way to make the play at the right time to deliver the victory. And I think that's on Patrick Mahomes. The defense at some point is going to let him down. He's going to be the one who has to pick the team up and carry it. He may not be ready to do it in only his second season. This may be something that happens year 3, year 4, year 5. But I think that's going to be the difference, when he can be the one to deliver victory when his teammates may not be in the right mode to do so.
So the other big thing for this game, and I'll ask Chris this because I'm very curious. The first game, you talked about the first game against the Patriots, a Sunday Night Football game.
Yeah.
Kareem Hunt had a huge game.
Right.
He was, the Patriots had no answer for him.
Yeah, running and catching.
Yeah, right. So can Damian Williams be that same guy? Because it seems like the whole Chiefs offense sort of goes off that, because Travis Kelce's going to get open if Damian Williams can be a threat.
I think that he can be. I think the big thing there in adding to that fact is just Andy Reid also being patient with the run. Like if Andy Reid, if they get into, we're going to throw the ball 50 times this game, they're going to lose. There's no doubt about it. You can't be one-dimensional against Bill Belichick, Brian Flores and company. I do think we've seen them kind of be a little bit more balanced lately, to answer your question, with giving Damian Williams the ball. We've seen them throw them a lot of screen passes. He certainly will be a big factor in the game. And let's be honest, this team is an offensive football team, right? That's how they're built. They're built to win shootouts and put the pressure on you that way. They missed that opportunity in the first game. The first game, they made a stop on the first drive of the game against the New England Patriots offense. They got the ball back. I believe went up 3-0, but missed, like you talked about already, Mike. Mahomes was off early. He missed some wide open throws that we had not seen him miss. And you just can't afford to leave those opportunities on the field in a game like this where, especially if Kansas City can jump out early, that will really play in their favor. If this gets to the end of the first quarter and it's like 7-3 or 10-7, I would say, this is a New England type of football game, and they might be in trouble.
Patrick Mahomes in the first half of the regular season match between the Patriots and the Chiefs, 14 of 23, 164 yards, no touchdown passes, 2 interceptions. The Dante Hightower where they duped Mahomes into throwing the ball, and Hightower jumped up and got it, and then that ball in the end zone that was a bad throw. But he did have incompletions that were just ugly first half. Second half, 9 of 13 for 188 yards and 4 touchdowns with no picks. A different guy in the second half of that game, and they're going to be looking to bring that second half vibe into the first half. Look at what they did to the Colts last week, up 14-0, and it felt like it was over from that point.
Right.
They're going to want to try to deliver an early knockout and then hold on if they can. One thing about this game, too, that when the week began, we were talking about, and we haven't had to mention it because it hasn't been an issue. He had that moment on Saturday where we thought he was hurt. We thought the knee was messed up. He was walking on it funny. He was on the sideline. He didn't want the trainer coming over to look at it. He didn't even want to acknowledge he may be injured. He has not been on the injury report. He is good to go. He is fine. That is not going to be a factor. We got a fully and completely 100% Mahomes, by all appearances, a 100% Tom Brady. So both guys fully healthy. But for a while last Saturday, it looked like there may be a real concern about Mahomes' ability to be Mahomes this week.
The other health thing that I look at in this game, no one's really talking about the fact that Julian Edelman is finally 100% healthy, ready to go, playing his best football. That, to me, is more important than, I know there's been a lot of talk about Brady, that he's getting older. I've been part of it. Gronk is clearly, obviously, not the same player he was 4 or 5 years ago. But Edelman seems to be back in full form, and that's a total game changer because obviously Tom Brady knows he can throw it to him at any time.
Yeah, I mean, they're great at designing plays for him, and I agree with you that he is I think, it's that time of the year where he's finally got over that ACL injury, right? It's usually year 2, they say, or maybe 18 months, somewhere in that time frame, and he does look quicker and more explosive right now. So he has become a weapon, especially off that play-action pass that we talked about in the first hour. And you know what? I just want to go back to one thing about Kansas City that I think is extremely important for this football game. First of all, it is great that Mahomes and Kansas City are getting to play the Patriots again because the Patriots ran some defenses in that game. As a young quarterback who Mahomes is really, a rookie that's in his second year, he saw defenses that he hadn't seen up to that point. So I don't think he'll be caught off guard by it this time around. The other thing that we really, I think, have to focus in on, can the Patriots keep him in the pocket? Because as we watch Kansas City every week, when Patrick Mahomes gets outside of the pocket, we stand up out of our seats because we go, uh-oh, here it comes. It's going to be sidearm or laser or across the field. And he makes more big plays outside of the pocket than any other quarterback in football. If they can keep him in the pocket, can Patrick Mahomes dissect them that way? That will be a big question mark for me. And I would almost say no, because we haven't seen him just truly stay in the pocket all game long and be that surgical guy like a Brady or a Breeze can. And I would think that would be something New England would focus on.
And Patrick Mahomes getting outside the pocket. I mean, I think you'd agree, Chris, that the Chiefs, man for man, have more talent than the Patriots.
Yes.
So the Patriots might have a better scheme. They have better coaching. But when things break down,
Tyreek Hill, Watkins,
you're not going to be able
Kelce.
to guard these guys.
Exactly right. Yeah, I feel the same way.
And here's the thing about Mahomes and trying to keep him in the pocket. I mean, they can say, hey, they want to try to keep him in the pocket, but he's got that athleticism that he just explodes on you. And even if you're doing everything you can, ultimately you're talking about defensive ends and linebackers who are trying to keep a guy in the pocket, and he can run circles around them. It's like, hey, fine, sorry, I'm getting out of the pocket no matter what you do to try to keep me in here. And I think that's going to be the challenge. And he knows that it's almost like a Ben Roethlisberger trait where moving laterally, he almost throws better than when he's standing still. And he'll escape. He's good enough that it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And I think that's something the Patriots may just have to accept. And I think across the board, both teams, you have to acknowledge the other team is going to score points, right? That there are going to be moments where you feel like it's not going your way and you can't stop them, and you just have to accept that. And we talked earlier about it. How many times will the Chiefs have to stop the Patriots? And the other side of the coin, how many times will the Patriots have to stop the Chiefs? And that's what it's going to come down to. I'm going to use that tennis analogy again. Who can break serve once? That may be all it takes to win the game.
Why would you bring tennis into this?
I don't know. I couldn't think of any other sport that I could make that
it's
kind of comparison
season.
to.
It's still football season. We have 3 games
They're
left.
playing tennis. They're playing tennis in Australia, I think.
Oh, yeah, they actually are.
They are. That started. He's right. Oh, he got you there.
There you go.
Damn.
You got it, Mike.
Boom!
It's tennis season.
Beat
Let's
that.
do it.
But
tennis season.
There's so many interesting matchups across the board. I mean, how much is Stephon Gilmore going to match up with Tyreek Hill? What are the Patriots going to do to take Travis Kelce away in certain situations? I think speaking to the pocket thing with Mahomes, okay, let him go out of the pocket, but make sure he goes left. I think that's one thing we saw the Patriots try to do, even in the interception in the end zone. Dante Hightower in the first matchup, he was dragging on Mahomes as he was throwing. They were ready for him to, go to the right. So that will be certainly a big aspect. And then we look at New England on the other side of the ball. I mean, come on. Can Kansas City make some stops? And I think that's the big question because they haven't in any big moments really all year long.
Yeah, this is going to be the don't overthink it pick of the week, though. I mean, the Patriots are like, you're going to feel stupid if you pick the Chiefs in this game. You are, right?
He is stupid.
No, but I did it last week. I overthought it. I picked the Chargers.
Yeah.
The key to all these games is, you want to win, but more than anything, you don't want to look stupid. You can't look stupid if you pick the Patriots because if something goes wrong.
But they're the underdogs. Whoa, they're the underdogs.
Yeah, right. They are the underdogs.
Haven't you heard?
They are technically the underdogs.
Everybody thinks they suck and they can't win games.
I mean, I don't think I still haven't found more than a few people who have said the Patriots suck.
Yeah.
But I appreciate any time an athlete has to find motivation anywhere. I mean, Julian Edelman, he posts like 6 different hype videos every single week, and I know it gets him excited, and why not?
Yeah.
I have seen so many arguments on social media between Chiefs fans and Patriots fans over which team is really the underdog. I mean, the reality is neither team is because the 3-point spread is a result of the game being played in Kansas City. Neutral site, this is a pick'em game.
Okay, I like what
that?
you did there, Mike. But I mean,
there we go.
Literally, there is one underdog and one favorite.
Yeah, I know, but they both want to be the underdog. They both want that motivation. They both want to think everyone doubts them. And it's amazing to think that grown men need that. But just by virtue of what's unfolded this week, there's all the proof we need that they do need. They'll take anything they can get to get the extra motivation.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a break.
I used to find things to hate the other team every week. And, of course, I wasn't that great. My career wasn't that great. But that's what you do as an athlete.
Give me the best thing you ever did to get yourself motivated.
I mean, I would always just look at the other quarterback a lot of times and be like, man, I'm better than him, this guy, blah, blah, blah. That's really where I went, and I wanted to be like, I'm going to show that I'm the best one on the field this week. Or, I woke up one day and I'm watching a pregame show, and Mike Ditka said I had the most pressure on me on a Sunday, and I'm like, damn, I didn't know I had the pressure on me. I thought about him, and just before the game, like, I'm going to prove his butt wrong today and go out there and have a good day. And I actually did have a good day that day.
What were your numbers that day?
I don't know. That was the day where we ended up going for 2 with Mike Allstott over the top against the Redskins, where we just got in and won a 36-35 thriller.
How can you remember all those details and not remember what your stat line was that day? We'll find it out.
That means it wasn't very good.
No, the Redskins.
Who were you playing? We're going to find out who you play that day.
He wasn't very good.
Was very good. It was very good. I know that. I know everybody else's stat line better than I knew my own. I just will say that.
Answer the question. Who did you play that day?
The Washington Redskins and Greg Williams. I had my way with them that day.
What year? What year?
2005, regular season.
All
yes.
right, we'll check it out during the break.
Check it out. Yep.
All right.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.